My friend Lucy has been diagnosed with breast cancer. It is one of those situations where I was totally at a loss for words. She told me that the reason why she didn't do regular breast checks is because she got busy at work and we had a big project on, and as a graphic designer I really had to be on top of my game, and I had to make sure that everybody who was looking out for me and who was relying on me were satisfied. And it was one of the saddest conversations I think I have ever had. It made me feel like, what else are we giving away to our employers? What other things are we deciding in our lives we're just too busy for? Too busy for health? Too busy for the ability to do a regular health check? It just brought me back to my own situation. When I had a job and when I started to get a twinge in one finger, and then all of a sudden it went up one arm and then down the other, and before you knew it, within just a few days, I could not move. Now, when I think about that, and I think about how that occupational therapist came into my work and said, do you realise on this track, if you continue down this track, you may never be able to get to the age of 40. You could have a heart attack. You're putting your body under so much pressure, you're depriving it of sleep, you're not eating properly, and look what's happened. Unless you start looking after yourself, you could have no future. It just smacked me across the face, and I couldn't help but compare my situation with Lucy. In some ways, I was so lucky that I was young when that happened to me, that I had a grave health situation in my late 20s, because it meant that I could rebuild and restart and begin to examine things differently. But you know what? Generally, people have a health issue later, so that it's harder for them to rebuild, and it's harder for them to see sense and to realise that the habits they have formed dictate their happiness. Do you know, for you, I don't want that to be your situation. I don't want you to get a grand wake-up call of pain, of distress, of burnout before you make a decision to trade. Do you know, trading will bring clarity and purity to your life? Sure, there will be work involved, don't get me wrong, but don't you think everything of value requires work? If you didn't have to work for it, it would probably be a flash in the pan. And in fact, the number of times I see ads where they say, hey, make $1 million with $10,000 down. You know what, I don't trust those. Having caught up with traders all over the world that I've trained since the early 2000s, having seen the changes in their lives, having realised what choices they have opened up for themselves and their families, that just makes me think, oh my gosh, I'm more committed than ever to working for your future, to working so that I can work for free, because it's a repeat for free course after you've initially got in, working for free for your goals. Don't get me wrong here, there will be work involved, but you know what? I will be right beside you, and so will Chris Tate. We have been running the mentor program since the year 2000. There is no doubt in our mind that we can get you over the line so that you can be a profitable trader. Any voice of doubt you hear is yours, and yours alone. It's time to silence that voice of doubt.